Hi everyone, in this video I'll be talking about the Scientific American article assignment. First, I'll give a general explanation of what this assignment is all about. Then I'll explain all of the different parts of the assignment in some detail, partly because you're working on this assignment at the same time as a few others, and partly because we only have 6 weeks together. There will be a lot to do in a little time. In a nutshell, the assignment asks you to write a magazine article for the popular science magazine Scientific American, or a similar publication. In this article, you will summarize, describe, and discuss an academic research article of your choosing. Importantly, the article that you'll be writing about must be some kind of research study in which the authors fully describe their methods, present their analyses, and discuss their findings. The study must be published in an academic journal. It can't have also been published in a pop sci magazine like Scientific American. Why is that? Well, because academic journals and pop sci magazines like Scientific American have totally different audiences. Academic journals have very narrow audiences, typically researchers in a specific field or subfield. Researchers are writing to each other. These articles are often very long, very detailed, and their goal is essentially to explain exactly how they did a study, such that if someone wanted to come along and repeat the study for themselves, they could in fact replicate it. Articles in academic journals typically use a lot of field or discipline-specific jargon and don't need to explain it because it's targeted towards people who already know the jargon. On the other hand, pop sci or popular science magazines like Scientific American or Psychology Today or things like that, on the other hand, are targeted toward a much larger audience, well-educated people from a variety of fields who just like to stay informed about the current goings-on in American science. A reader of Scientific American might be a professor of biology with a doctorate degree and 10 years experience working at a university. But they might also be a technical writer with a master's degree and a background in English, but a strong interest in science. So articles in these types of publications do have to either avoid or explain any jargon they use, but they also don't want to talk down to their audience and simplify things too much, lest they alienate their readers. So essentially, your job in this assignment is to take an article from the first type of publication, the academic research study originally published in a research journal and targeted toward a very small disciplinary audience, and basically translate it and retarget it for the other type of publication with a well-educated but much more general audience. I have a few big tips about this assignment that I hope you'll take into consideration as you work on it. First, in order to write your article, you will need to be very familiar with the scientific study that you are writing about. So choose something in your field and read it over and over again until you really thoroughly understand it. If you struggle with it or you don't understand it, either pick another article or find a mentor in your field, perhaps a grad student in your lab if you're in a lab or your lab's primary investigator, and ask if they can help you understand it better. Second, articles like those in Scientific American will often feature quotes from the original researchers of the studies they're talking about or other prominent people in the field. If you can select an article from one of your professors and then interview them about that work, that's great. You might consider including some quotes from them in your article. But if you can't, that's okay too. Professors are very busy at this point in the fall, so be careful not to rely too heavily on the possibility of quotes in case the professor is too busy to be interviewed. Third, one of the best ways to learn how to write a new genre or type of writing is to read lots of examples of that type of thing. So it's a good idea to find an issue of Scientific American or to go to their website and at least read a few articles from the magazine so that you get a better sense of the genre. Alright, so now let's talk about the steps of this assignment. First, you will select an article to write about and you will write a memo to me listing the article and explaining why you want to write about it. This is due very early in the semester so that I can be sure you're writing about the right type of article and so that I can offer suggestions if need be. Then you have 2 drafts of the article due before the final draft. For each draft, you will conduct a workshop. You'll be assigned someone's article to review, and you will receive comments on your own article as well. You'll also get comments from me. Then finally, at the very end of the semester, you'll submit the final draft. The goal is to make the article better with each draft you submit, so you need to submit a complete draft from the very beginning. These drafts are graded on a pass-fail basis, and if you don't submit a complete draft, you won't pass the assignment. You'll also be graded on the workshop. That is, you'll be graded on the feedback you give to your colleagues, but don't worry, I have a whole video about how to give good feedback. As long as you follow the guidelines in that video, you'll be fine. Alright, that's the assignment in a nutshell. If you have any questions about it, just shoot me an email. Otherwise, I'll see you later.